everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the eyeBytes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, and with me, as always, my good friend, Sajandeep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Daniel?
Yeah, not bad. I know it's been a while since we have actually recorded, and sorry about that. We've actually been a little bit busy. Work and life has kept us a bit busy, so we haven't had a chance to sit down in the studio and record. But after about a month and a half, we figured, let's get off our butts and record something now. Let's make the time. So we are here. So sorry for the wait, but we are back. Yay.
I also want to say thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's very much appreciated for those listening, taking the time to download our episodes from the etherwebs and listen to us on your favorite podcast player. If you I'm curious to know what are people's favorite podcast players. I know for myself, I use Overcast. Saj, I think you use the Apple Podcast app.
That's right.
So if people want to tell us, feel free to send us an email at contact@eyebytes.tech. Let us know what your favorite podcatcher is. Be curious to know. What's that?
I was actually looking at the stats, and I think more people actually use the Victor Reader.
Yeah, we got a pretty solid fan base on Victor Reader stream. So shout out to our Victor Reader stream listeners. I actually have one of those devices. It's kind of nice. I like that. It's that's how I actually download copies of the other podcast I do with Randy Rusnak, Accessibility Moving Forward. I like keeping copies of the episodes, so I download them on my Victor Reader, and I can copy them on my SD card and then copy that to my computer. So that's a lot of fun. The past month and a half, nothing really big. I think the news has been pretty quiet. Nothing big on our end here, besides just buying some new stuff on Amazon. Yay. Thank you, Amazon, for all your wonderful shopping needs. Saj, I know you told me, we tried recording before, and we kind of bombed that something happened with our recording, but we're trying it again. So we're going to have to repeat everything we said before. You bought a rather expensive 75-pound Bluetooth speaker. Now, tell me, what is the purpose of this speaker? Because this is a rather large, bloody speaker, and I'm just trying to figure out what purpose does it serve besides for a party once in a blue moon.
Well, actually, it's not only for a party once in a blue moon. We just play it every weekend, or not every weekend, every other weekend or stuff, and just annoy the neighbors.
So whenever you got nothing to do, you just play music in your backyard just to annoy your neighbors?
No, actually, the funny thing is, when I first bought it, and my neighbor came over, and he was telling us that he has Sonos, and I bought mine.
Sonos. You mean Sonos?
Yeah, Sonos.
I never heard of that brand, Sonos. Go to sonos.com for all your speaker needs.
Sonos.
Soon to be copyrighted.
Sonos speakers in his backyard, and I brought my mammoth 75-pound speaker, and he was going crazy. Like, oh my God. I think he said, oh my God, like 10 times.
Well, based on what you described, this is a rather large, massive speaker.
It's about 4 feet tall.
4 feet tall?
Yes, sir.
What the frig is this? A coffin you're carrying with you?
I don't know. It has wheels on it. And it's pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie, it has LED lights on it.
Also, for the size of the thing. Wow, I didn't know it was 4 feet tall.
By the way, the name of it is the LG.
I know the JBL party box,
1000. It's called the JBL 1000.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Party box.
Wow.
And
yes, I know it was brought up by our favorite YouTuber, Flossie Carter. He did a review on it, and I listened to the YouTube review, and I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful speaker, but I cannot afford this speaker.
Try actually listening to the video with your AirPods Max on. You can actually hear the bass.
Yeah, I probably will, but yeah. Well, I didn't spend that much money on a Bluetooth speaker. I only bought. Actually, you know what? I bought a new pair of headphones for monitoring. I wanted to try out other, I'm never satisfied with headphones or microphones. I'm always buying new podcasting equipment. I figured, hey, what the heck? Why not? I've got nothing else to spend. So I ended up buying, after listening to some other podcasters about the Rode NTH 100s. They're actually a pretty, I think it's Rode's first time trying to make monitoring headphones for podcasting or just monitoring and mastering and rendering. And they're actually not that expensive. They're really comfortable. They actually, one nice thing I like is that you can actually, the wire not only plugs into the left ear cup, you can also plug in the right. So if your mixing board's on the right, you can actually plug it on the right side, and that way the cable's not dangling in front of you or across from you.
I wish these headphones had that capability.
Yeah, the Biodynamic, I love them. They're really comfortable, and they have a really high impedance, so they give you good quality audio. But they also they're a bit, well, they're not expensive, but that's I don't know, any excuse to buy more podcasting gear, why not? But the one thing I do like about these is that there's Braille on this thing. Each ear cup, there's a Braille letter letting you know which ear cup goes where. So if you look on the left ear cup, you can feel the letter L in Braille, and if you go on the right side, you feel the letter R. So I really wish that more companies who make these types of headphones would actually follow Rode's example and put these things on, because I always find it annoying. Most of the time you get headphones, and for the most case, if I got my gaming headset, well, I was able to figure out, the left has the microphone, the right has the volume knob, and sometimes you can kind of figure out which cup goes where, but it's just always nice to have that little attention to detail, especially for the blind community, being giving us that bit of information, letting us know how these things go on your head. So it's kind of nice. So other than that, I've actually started buying exercise equipment to help me slim down a little bit.
That's good, man.
I was actually looking when I was a teenager. I remember being part of a big sister / big brother program, and I had an older sister who, well, not my actual biological sister, but they teamed me up with an older woman who actually was really big on going to gyms. So when I was a teenager, she went with me to the gym. It was kind of nice being able to go there and get, work out on exercise equipment. And one of the things I noticed there, which I wanted to get recently, is called an ab roller. And the one I'm talking about is you're usually on your back. You have this metal frame thing around your upper body. Your head's resting on a cushion, and you got this bar on top of you, and you put your hands on it, and you kind of push towards your knees, and it lifts your upper body up to help you do an ab crunch. Okay. And I was looking online a couple of weeks ago for one. I'm like, obviously, because I can't see the photos on Amazon, I can't make sure I'm buying the right thing. So I started looking on Amazon for ab rollers. I found a lot of different ab rollers. I'm like, wow, they make a lot of these things, and they're reasonably priced. So I figured I looked online for recommendations for the best one, best value for the buck, and I found a pair. I think it was Perfect Fitness, and I bought it. And when I got the box, I was expecting this huge box. I get it from the mail. I'm like, this is a really tiny box. What the heck is this? So I opened the box and I realized it's a bloody big wheel with handles on each side. I'm like, that's not what I was hoping for. Apparently, this is more effective at working your abs than the other type of ab roller. So I've actually tried it a couple of times, and sure enough, it actually does work your abs quite a bit. I did it yesterday for I think 5-10 minutes, and yeah, my abs are sore. And I also bought a couple of dumbbells because I figured let's work the arms as well. And after you recommended the Amazon Basic metal ones with the rubber coating, and I looked at a lot of the reviews saying, yeah, it smells like really strong cigarette rubber. It was like a weird smell. And I know you said, oh, don't worry, it's not that bad. So I actually got them. And when I opened them up, I swear the first thing I thought of when I opened these boxes up and I took a whiff of that rubber smell, I thought of Canadian Tire.
Yeah, same here.
I remember going to Canadian Tire with my father and passing by the aisle with tires, and it had that really strong rubber smell, and that's exactly what that brought me to, was that smell. Like, Canadian Tire, yay, for all your shopping needs.
How is it now? Did they wear off yet?
I've used them a little bit last week. I haven't had a chance to actually continue. The problem is, not being able to see anything, I have a hard time knowing the exact movements to do with the dumbbells. Yeah. I look online, YouTube videos, but they don't really describe to you in detail the movements of your arms. I know some movements especially for the arms, for the biceps and triceps and the deltoids. I remember when I was younger, during the lunch hour, you used to have these workout shows with these attractive women in workout outfits working out on the beach. And I remember one of the shows where they were showing how to work out your arms, and I kind of remember vaguely some of the movements from that show. So I've been trying to copy that. I did buy people told me when you buy dumbbells, don't buy too heavy. Stick with like 10 or 15 pounds. I actually decided to go a little bit heavier and bought 2 dumbbells of 20 pounds each. I figured this way, I want to make sure that, it's a bit heavier than what I would like, but it's something that at least, 6 months down the road after using it for a while, it's still going to give me a good workout. I'm not going to get used to the point where it's like, oh, it feels light now. No, it's always going to feel rather heavy, and it's going to give me good resistance and good workout for my arm. So that's why I stuck with the heavier ones. But no, other than that, it's pretty much what I buy. I figured, might as well invest a bit more in exercise stuff so I can kind of lose a bit of weight. And I'm trying to watch what I eat now. Funny, I can't see anything. So I'm like, hey, whatever I touch with my hands, I eat. No, not really. I don't want to go there. But no, I'm trying to be careful what I eat, trying to be a little bit more healthier compared to when I was younger. I'm definitely eating a lot healthier than I used to. And I figured, I might as well work out a little bit more and try to slim down a bit and just stay a little bit healthy. So, but yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. So
I'm going to quickly.
What's that?
Hold on one second. Before you do go on, I was going to say that I do the Apple Fitness Plus workouts, and they have like a heavier set of weights, and then they have a medium set of weights. Now, I have 25 pounds, and I was planning to get the 15 because there are some rowing things that they do with their arms, and the 25 is way too much to do those things, at least for me right now. And maybe as I work, I do have 10 pounds, but 10 is nothing. Like after picking up 25, 10 is like you can pick with your pinky, right? It's too late. So anyway, you can go on now.
Yeah, I know that I just subscribed to Apple Fitness because I do have an exercise bike and I want to try it out, and it works really well. I do like the audio hints, so as you're working out, they VoiceOver does read out some hints of what the trainers are doing on the screen, so you can kind of have an idea the movements you can do in order to accomplish the same movements or exercise or techniques that the trainers are using. But I should probably start using that a little bit more. But so starting on the first thing, and so we do have some stuff that happened the last month and a half. So for starters, well, first thing I noticed, I heard about was there's a version of JAWS for the ARM processor now. So if you are running Windows on an M1 Mac, you can actually have JAWS for ARM now running on your virtual machine of Windows. I know that.
That's what that is.
Yeah, Blind Guy Talks Tech, Stephen Scott, actually mentioned that he did this on his M1 Mac Mini, that he got a virtual machine with Windows 11, and he's running JAWS. And he's actually, surprisingly enough, he was saying that with the M1 Mac Mini and the VM working at the same time as his Mac operating system, he's actually able to, JAWS is pretty snappy. He's using Audacity to record, and it's not sluggish at all. It runs pretty snappy. And I know what you're going to say. That's the Mac processing power, baby. But no. I know it's the M1 processor. It's pretty impressive, but still, it's like, it's kind of cool that some people are exploring this. I do not have the courage to explore this at all. I just want a computer that works, and that's it. But it's kind of nice that at least Freedom Scientific, Vispero now, they're expanding the JAWS software to fit more platforms. Hopefully, it would be nice if you could have the option to have JAWS or NVDA on the Mac instead of just VoiceOver, because I like my Mac, I like VoiceOver, but bloody hell is it ever complicated just to go left, right, interact with them. Like, geez, Louise, why is it so overly complicated?
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's so simple. You tab through it. That's it.
I know. I don't know why. I did download once on my previous Mac. I did download Windows on it with my Intel with Boot Camp. Used it for a bit, but then I just uninstalled it. But it was fun though. It was cool.
Well, that's nice. So
cool.
I just keep talking. I just lost the show notes. I think the next thing we had.
Okay, you said ARM is now everywhere.
No, AIRA. So that's the next item on the list. So AIRA, that is, for those wondering, it's a service you can you can pay for, or there is a free tier. I think it's when you're using the free version or the free tier, you get a 5-minute call every day. But for that, basically what it is for those who are visually impaired or low vision or blind, however you want to call it, if you have issues identifying things or you need sighted help for certain things, you can call a professional to help you either identify cans, food, help you with navigation, help you with setting up, I don't know, a mixer or anything like that. It's basically somebody cited there to help you out, and it's a trained professional. They're vetted, so they are trustworthy. I'm not saying that there are other apps that were like that, like Be Specular. There's Be My Eyes, which is a really good app. But those are volunteers. Those are people who are volunteering their time to help out. AIRA is people who are hired, who are vetted, who are trained in how to interact and how to help somebody who's visually impaired. And they're a great service, but they were always pretty much available only on smart devices. I think on the Android, they're available on iOS. I think they had their own pair of glasses, I think Horizon glasses, but you needed to hook that up with a specific model of an Android device. They long stopped the Horizon glasses and they just had the mobile app. But this year, I think it's one of the AFB or NFB conventions, or I know there's a lot of conventions in the US. I think it's either AFB or ACB or NFB. It's one of those blind foundations who had conventions, and they announced that they were now everywhere. So meaning instead of just being on iOS and Android, they have their own desktop client. I don't know when it's going to come out, but those who are interested, you can look into it for more details to find out when it's going to be coming. They're available on the Blind Shell Classic, which is like an old style flip phone with a built-in accessibility for blind users, which is a really nice device. So people who are a little bit intimidated by smartphones can actually get one of these simple devices. I think it runs off of Android and it works really well. And AIRA is going to be available on that. There is something else which I heard of. There was I think it was called Tech Village in the UK. Stephen Scott was on there about a month ago there, and he met this company called ARX Vision. So this is a pair of, I don't know if you've ever seen the Trex or the Aftershocks headphones.
Yeah.
So it's a similar shape, but you have a camera on there, and it connects to an Android device. It's like your what's that device there? It's like similar to the Orcam, but it's like it's a more simplified, smaller form factor. There's no batteries in this thing. It plugs into your phone directly, and you can have you can use that for either facial. I haven't looked into it in details, but I think you can do facial recognition. You can have text read aloud, but AIRA will now be available. So when you install the AIRA app on your Android device, and this is only for Android so far. I think it's coming for iOS down the road, but if you have an Android device and you have one of these ARX Vision glasses, you connect it to your phone, you start a session with an AIRA specialist, and they will be able to actually see what you're seeing in the camera from the ARX Visions. So
that's pretty cool.
It's just instead of having your phone put on like a neck strap or a chest strap on your chest and have the camera pointed outwards, you can have it more compact design thing on your head where it's more comfortable, and you can walk around with that, and the AIRA specialist or rep can actually see what you're seeing through the ARX Vision, which is kind of nice. I don't know what the price tag is on these things. I think Stephen Scott is testing these. I've been listening to the podcast trying to see what he thinks of it. I think he likes them. Well, it's for him, like he has an iPhone, so he has to drag another phone because it's only on Android. But it looks promising. I'm glad these glasses, there's more and more of these types of technologies coming out. It helps us a little bit more. Anything that can help us be a little bit more independent and live fuller lives without having to ask our family members. We can do this on our own, which is kind of nice. What do you think of those things? Have you ever heard of these ARX Visions?
I actually never heard of those, but I remember being, I think CNIB had an event, actually, and that was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I went to it, and there was these glasses. It was basically seeing AI in these glasses with this little clip camera thing that was clipped to the side of your
Yeah, I think that was the Orcam.
That's what it is?
Yeah, the Orcam is, the original model was a simple camera that you can clip to your sunglasses, and it ran to a computer that, the Anker 20,000 milliamp battery that we have?
Yeah.
Well, the computer was about that size. But they actually shrunk it down. Now it's smaller. It fits on your glasses. Everything fits on your glasses now. There's no need for a computer strapped to your belt. and it does. I think it's the Orcam My Eye, and I think the Orcam Read. So you can do OCR text. You can point your finger at it to take a photo and read menus. It does facial recognition, product recognition. I think these are additional features you kind of have to. I think the Envision, not the Envision. What am I talking about? The Orcam My Eye has all these features like the product barcode scanning, facial recognition. So it's pricey. Unfortunately, it's a great device.
Yeah, that's what it was. That it was very expensive.
Yeah, I think it was like last I heard, like $5,000 or $6,000.
The app is free, right? But there's
no app for this.
No. Oh, no, I know this, but I was just saying, like, Seeing AI that does the same thing is free, right? And you carry your phone with you. But this is a lot more convenient, though. Like, I find if you have this, it's a lot easier to line up things in front of you because it's just with your eyes, right? You'll know where your central vision is. Yeah, Orcam, yeah. It's a lot more easier.
It's the price tag.
Yeah,
not everybody has $6,000 lying around for these.
That's the thing, right? You gotta pay to play. That's what philosophy says.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I actually had I had a friend of mine who worked for them, and she came over one day to do a demo for us, and I got a chance to play around with them for like half an hour, and they're kind of nice. Like I play with the original, the OG, the one that had the big battery pack size computer. It was nice. It was a great little product. I loved it. I just couldn't afford it at the price tag, but we have a lot more options out there for devices that can help us out, and if there's something out there that helps you out that
I don't think it's enough, though.
It's worth it.
I don't think we have enough stuff. We have like cars that drive itself. I'm surprised.
Yeah, we're far away from that ever happening anytime soon.
No. I'm just saying that so far, like look at Tesla. I can turn and whatnot, right? And I'm just saying, I wouldn't
trust these cars to drive myself.
I'm just saying that there's so much technology in a car, and I'm surprised there's not that much that. Sorry, I touched my mic. I'm surprised that there's not much stuff out for people who are like visually impaired. I know I don't know if you heard of this. There's this YouTube channel that I watch. It's called Jerry Rig Everything. And his wife, or I think I think they're married now. But yeah, his wife is actually on a wheelchair.
Okay.
And the recent video that I watched was there's this wheelchair that can actually climb upstairs now.
Oh, probably, yeah.
It backs up and then it climbs upstairs. Like, that's kind of cool because now that person has more flexibility, right? They can go more places than ever before. But technology is awesome. I think I was thinking of a belt or something that you wear, and it has sensors on each side, right? And as you're walking, there's a wall on the right side. Well, the right hip will vibrate to let you know, hey, move over.
People might get the wrong impression. Ooh, this feels really weird, but good. Ooh.
But I was just feeling like if you had this on for so long, like you'll have a really tingly feeling by the end of the day. But
let's keep this PG, please. Don't have the explicit tag on the podcast. We can't go too far.
I'm not going too far, but no, I'm just
talking about things vibrating on your hips and tingling, so I don't know.
No, come on. Okay, listen. But no, I was just thinking of something like, even on your shoulders or wherever you want to put it, right? Because I think canes. I think you said there was this app, the cane that connects to your phone. What's it called?
It's called the
WeWalk.
Was that
WeWalk?
Yeah, WeWalk cane. Yeah. But it's it looks great. Yeah. But I think like the GPS, it has a GPS function, but it relies on your phone for the GPS. So it's like, why am I just not going to use headphones with my phone instead of, why would I rely on this white cane when I can just use my phone and get the same thing?
Right.
Right. And for me, it's like, I have a white cane, and it's like, to me, it's a tested and true product. It works. It does a job. It stood the test of time for so many years, and people still they haven't changed the design of a white cane in so long. Yes, you can customize a white cane.
Iconic.
You can have,
everyone knows that's the big reason why, right?
Yeah, well, it just works. It's like, why would you try to fix something that's not? It's great. Hey, this WeWalk stuff, that's awesome. It's great that this stuff exists, but for me, it's like, you know what? Just give me a white cane. I know a friend of mine who told me once before that he likes customizing his canes. Like when he goes to a formal event, he has a completely black cane, so that way he can still use that for mobility, but it looks classy with his tux. So I'm like, okay. He said, you should get one. I'm like, yeah, I was thinking about getting, they have these telescopic white canes you can get. And I wanted to get one with the lit up tip and all green and a silver handle, so I can kind of fold it, collapse it, and then all of a sudden just pop it out Sorry, I can turn it so the cane expands and it makes it look like a lightsaber. But I'm like, nah, I'll just stick with the old classic white cane with the red reflector at the bottom. I go through those things every year or two. It's like they get a lot of beating, but they still working. They still work, man, and I love those white canes. So, but anyway, so I'm glad for the ARX, glad for AIRA. The more places you can have it, the better. It's awesome. We'll just have to keep our ears open to see when these options become available. I don't know when the desktop client is going to be available, and the ARX aren't out now. I don't think you can buy them, but they should be coming out soon, or they're available now, I think. I'm not too sure. I have no idea what the price tag is like, but you can look. I'm sure you can look online. Just look for ARX Vision, and you can find them pretty quickly. So, next item we have the Orbit now. This is something else I wanted to bring up because I know we talk a lot about Apple. We talk a lot about Google. Well, I do anyways. I know you're an Apple fanatic. But I like talking about other things beside the mainstream tech. Orbit, who are well known for very inexpensive, budget-friendly Braille displays. Because, Braille displays are not cheap. I have a 32-cell Braille display. It's like $6,000. It's ridiculous how much these things are worth. And not every blind person can afford these things because they're way crazy expensive. But Orbit came to the market, I think, with the Orbit Reader. They have a 20 cell, 40 cell, I think. Don't quote me. I have no idea what the different displays they have because I'm not a big, I know my Braille, but I don't really use a Braille display that much. I should actually probably, but I thought it was pretty cool because a lot of the times when I saw Braille displays, they were always single line. You could have either a 14, 20, you can have up to 32, 40, and up to an 80 cell Braille display. Oh, and gosh. Another reason why people are wondering, why is it so expensive? Well, think about this. When you have a Braille cell, you have, think of the cell has 2 columns and 6 rows. And in each spot, there's a pin that rises or lowers depending on what Braille letter it's representing. So you have all these moving parts. So a lot of times dirt can get in there, parts can break. So that's why these things are very expensive, because all these pins, and the more cells you have, the more expensive the display becomes. And the more features you have, I have the one I have, I think it's a Braille Sense U2. I loved it when I got it. I don't use it that much anymore, unfortunately, because it's still running Windows CE, which is Compact Edition, an old version of Windows. But they have newer versions. I just couldn't afford to buy another one, so I just stuck with that one, the one I've got now. But Orbit, I'm sure they have a 20. I think it's Orbit Reader or a 20 cell and the 40 cell. But they came out with these. I think they call the Orbit Slates line, and it's now a multi-line Braille display. You had the Graffiti, which I think was, I don't remember who made that one. I think it was not AFB. Bloody hell. It's an organization in the States that made this, I think. But it's like a full-on 8x10 or 8x11 lines of Braille, and you have multi-lines, and that's very expensive. I think one of our friends actually had a chance. I think our friend Rebecca actually had a chance to play with one. I think I could be wrong, but it looked pretty. I never got my hands on one. It looked pretty sweet. It's a bit heavy, but they also had another. I think, is it the Graffiti that was multi-line, or was it? There was another one I remember hearing. It was it was tons of little dots and little pins, and if you imported an image, it would actually give you a tactile version of that image. I'm not sure I don't think it was the Graffiti. I think it was another one. But anyway, so Orbit came out with these multi-lines, which is really, they have, I think, one of them, it's 3 lines of 40, I think. And another one they have is 5 lines of 20 cells. I don't know what the price tag is in Canada. I'm assuming it's not going to be way overly priced like some of the other models, but it's still pretty awesome to have these multi-line displays. I don't really use them, but anybody that's out there who is interested in learning more about this, I think it's been they've talked about this the last couple of months, so I think we're pretty much late to the game, but I still want to bring it up. It's kind of nice. So yeah, if you're looking to Braille displays, check them out. Orbit, I think they're called the Orbit Slate line, and you can look for like I said, there's 5 lines of 20 and 3 lines of 40. So use like you said, I don't think you use a Braille display, right?
No.
Have you ever learned Braille?
I have actually in grade 3, but a long time ago. So
Long time ago. You're 20 for crying out loud. Back in my day when I was 5.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, when I was like 15, 16, and I started losing my vision. I think it was at the PackMate, which was like one of the first Braille displays I ever saw. And I was like, wow, this thing is like a dinosaur compared to what my Braille Sense U2 was. Like my Braille Sense U2 is far more, although it looks similar to the PackMate back then. It still has the Perkins keyboard on it with a 32 cells. It's got like routing keys. I think actually talking about the Orbit Slate, I think they have routing keys as well. So basically each cell of Braille has a button above it. So whenever you're reading Braille, you can press that routing cursor key above the cell, and the cursor will jump straight to that cell. That's why they have those. It's kind of nice. You know, the more Braille displays they can come out with, and especially these are more like, I'm hoping because it's Orbit, they're going to be more affordable. Because again, like, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 for Braille displays, it's expensive. I understand why it's expensive, but still, it's expensive for a Braille display. But yeah, good for Orbit. Like I said, anybody want to check it out, go check it out. I'm sure you can find it if you look for Orbit. And so next on the list we have, so this story's been going on for a while. Mr. Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter, decided not to, and now I think they're in a legal battle with Twitter. I don't know what's going on. I really don't care.
I don't know either. I just put it in there just because we said it last time that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, he's buying it. Oh, we're not sure. He might not be buying it. Oh, he's buying it. No, he's not. We don't know anymore. Elon Musk is a very special, unique character. So
that's the only reason I put it back in there.
Yeah, so he's they're in legal disputes now. Don't know what. If you care about any of this, you can Google it and search it for yourself. I don't know. I'm not interested in this, to be honest with you. I just thought since you brought up, I just thought we'd mention it. But yeah, so
right.
Anyways,
the next up we have is lockdown mode. Now,
yeah, you brought this up. So you're on a beta for iOS 16. So what is this lockdown mode?
So when you get to iOS 16 in September, you'll get a feature down under I think it's under general. Not under general, but it's just in settings. There's something called lockdown mode. Mm-hmm. What that does, it just restricts your phone, even like more. So, people try sending you messages, they won't go through. Okay. People you FaceTime, they can only FaceTime you back.
Okay.
So. It's just that this lockdown mode is, let's just say if someone is trying to get a hold of your phone or something, you feel that you're in danger, you turn on lockdown mode, your phone will be extremely more, it will be just level higher, more secure.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I heard this before. I didn't read much into it, but it's interesting. But I know they had a feature if you're outside, like let's say, give an example. If you're coming back into the country and the airport is like, I want to see your phone, unlock your phone. And you're like, I don't know what the regulation or law is, but I know in the States, they said that if it's Face ID or Touch ID, they can take that from you. They can force you to unlock it if it's a Face ID. But if it's a passcode, because it's in your mind, it's in your memory, they can't force that out of you. Again, this is the US. That's what I heard from few podcasts.
That's why I just
but in Canada, I'm not sure what the law is, but I know there is a feature if you press the side button 5 times. Now, before you do this, you have to go in the settings under emergency SOS. There is some settings there you got to change because if you do the side button 5 times, it'll trigger the emergency SOS. If you turn that off, then what it does, it actually will it makes the SOS emergency button appear. You have to tap on it to trigger it. But if you just click cancel and then just lock your phone, now when you try to unlock it with the side button, it's not going to trigger Face ID. You literally have to put in the passcode to unlock it again. So that was something
save you from accidentally calling the police. You can just press the volume up and the power button, hold that down, or you could just tell Siri, "Who am I?" Mm-hmm. She'll tell you your name, and then she'll lock the Face ID.
I don't know. I should try that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you have to enter your passcode.
I just wanted like the emergency SOS settings and disable that, 5 times press so it doesn't trigger the emergency SOS. That triggers the sound.
Quick story with that. We were going to Toronto and my dad was playing music in the car and he wasn't looking down at his phone. He's putting the volume down. SOS, he couldn't press cancel on time. He pressed cancel, but the cops called him back, and the cops told us, we want to check your car for just for safety. So they made us wait on the side of the road for half an hour.
Like that. I've had that happen with my work phone. I was doing something and the menu popped up, and sometimes I'm so quick to swipe to the screen that I swipe through and I double tap without thinking about it. But focus was on the emergency SOS, and I heard the big alarm wailing. I'm like, whoa, no! I'm like, where's the cancel? And I found it. I stopped. But I think I even got a call from the 911. Are you okay, sir? I'm like, yeah, my apologies. I accidentally triggered it by accident. So yeah, so the last one we have on the list is new apps. So you brought this up. I don't really have any new apps to talk about, to be honest with you. I don't know if you have any new apps you want to talk about.
No, I was just saying new apps or just any cool apps that you know that will help people out.
There is something I want to bring up. I did mention it to our friends yesterday. Yesterday, I read an article on Mobile Syrup that WhatsApp has now a standalone app for Windows now in the Microsoft Store. For those of you wondering, well, they already have an app. Yes, they do. You can download a desktop client for WhatsApp on your Mac or your Windows machine, but in order to log it in, you had to scan a QR code using your phone, and it was synced. It was linked to your phone. So if you wanted to send and receive messages on the desktop client, your phone had to be on. If you turned your phone off, then the WhatsApp client on your desktop did not work because there was no connection with your phone. Similar to, let's say, for example, you have a Mac and you want to send a text message, not an iMessage, but a text message, or make a phone call through your Mac, your phone has to be on the same Wi-Fi network as your computer. So this is the same thing. But now, as of yesterday, they did come out with a standalone app. So you don't have to link it to your phone. It doesn't need your phone to send and receive messages to the desktop client. It's all on its own. I think there's a Mac version coming soon as well. Once I get my actual personal computer soon, I will install that and check it out. But yeah,
that'd be cool.
So is there any other apps that you want to bring up? I know there's a couple of games they've been there for a while. I did buy them several months ago. There's like a Vampire Hunter, a spaghetti Western one. It's all audio based, and honestly, there's like Blind Drive, which is a game I should probably try playing again.
Me too. Actually, I stopped playing that.
It was a lot of fun.
Did you pass it? I think you passed it.
I never passed it. I got to the end. I'm at the end at the last boss level. I'm on the regular difficulty level. I might just cheat and put it to the easy level so I can finish the bloody game. But you're basically driving. There's the bad guys in the helicopter with a rocket launcher, or actually shooting at you, and your mom is on the roof with a rocket launcher trying to blast the helicopter. It's like, this is bloody. It's insanely funny, and it's definitely worth checking out. If it's an old game that's been out for, I think, 6 months, over a year, almost a year.
Worth every penny.
I think it's $3.99 or $4. I'm not sure what the price tag is. I do warn you, for those of you who might be sensitive, there are there's a level where you're driving downtown and you kind of hit people. So I think there's even, you kind of hit a baby. So it's like, if people are sensitive, it's more black humor, black comedy, or it's, I don't know what, it's just like dark comedy. It's not for anybody. I played this. I knew it was fictional. It wasn't real. It was fun. It was funny. So yeah, for those of you interested, check it out. It's called Blind Drive. The other ones, I think it's a Western drama, and I don't remember what the vampire one is, but I play them a little bit. I kind of put them aside because I'm not that much of a big gamer. I buy them because I want to support the developer and show them that, I appreciate them taking the time making these apps accessible.
Our own community, right?
But to support the developers. So I have them on my phone. I haven't really played them much, but other than that, not many new apps. So yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Unless if you have anything else to bring up.
No, that's all, man.
All right. Well, so I wanted to thank you again for joining us today. I was your host, Daniel, and join with me as always with Sajan. And if you guys want to reach us, you can reach us via email at contact@eyebytes.tech. That is contact@eyebytes.tech. You can also reach us on Twitter. I think it's @eyeBytespodcast. And you can also find us on YouTube @eyeBytes. And
on Instagram.
You have an Instagram account?
I do.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
I think I told you that.
I'm horrible at remembering stuff. So, like I said, you take care of the visual social media stuff. I'll just take care of actually not the editing anymore because I don't have my computer yet. Soon I will be editing. Hopefully,
I will give
podcast.
this responsibility all back to him.
Although we might have a discussion on that. I might just let you continue doing it for now because I just enjoy sitting here, just looking pretty and talking on the microphone while you do all the hard work, and I just sit back and relax. So, but yeah. Anyways,
goodies.
We'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to send us an email or reach us on Twitter or however you want to reach us. We always love hearing from you guys. We actually never got any emails. We did get one from a gentleman letting us know that the first episode we did was not converted to the proper format. But other than that, we haven't gotten any emails from anybody. So yeah, please send us emails so we don't feel so alone.
Well, yeah, we could actually also read them on the podcast, by the way, too.
Yeah, you can take care of that because I can't see shit, so I'll let you take care of that part.
Language.
So, anyways, we'll leave it at that for now. Thank you for joining us this week, and we wish you the best, and have a good day, man. Take care.